Hey, how's it going today? It's Frank here, and I'm back with TV show Thursdays. Nearly messed that line up, but this show is called Alpha Males. I don't know what to think about the show. I wanna like it. I thought it would be funny because in the way it's about and the type of characters, it wasn't. It just didn't really catch my eye. It's about these four dudes: Pedro, Ruiz, Santi, and Raul, and they navigate through the life of, like, with dealing with empowered women. I like empowered women, right? Who doesn't need a bit of a dominant woman? And don't worry, this is a Spanish show, and don't worry, for those of you that don't speak Spanish, this is in English. So we're gonna have to just remind everybody. I just have to let people know if something's of a different country or they speak English, that's fine. That I have to let you know. So yeah, for those of you that do speak Spanish or you're from a Spanish country, then that's alright for you. Don't forget, it makes a difference, because if it wasn't Spanish, yeah, you would understand it anyway. But yeah, and these four dudes, with they're dealing with empowered women that they can't handle. And I'm not really gonna mention. I'm just gonna not mention the names of these dudes in these sort of situations. I don't want to get anybody mixed up with who's paying who and who's was who. So you got like them just dealing with women. You got one relationship that's like dealing with this guy dealing with a woman. I think it's I forgot who's got the wife that deals with social media. I'm gonna try and remember the names because it's quite confusing. You got a dude that has like a 16-year-old daughter, that 16-year-old. Just don't wanna say anything, don't want anybody to mishear what I'm saying. And she sets him up on dates and he doesn't like it. You got another couple that deals with intimacy issues, and you got another one that wants to be in an open relationship. Now you think of all those, you would think that would be funny. I was expecting some chaos, but it just feels a bit dull to me. Don't get me wrong, I mean, there's certain aspects are okay. There's certain parts which I actually wanted to find funny, but I didn't, such as a scene with one of the guys' houses, and it gets a tiny bit chaotic, but not as much. And you see another scene of where this couple's at therapy, and they're talking about their love life and their sex life as well. And this the therapist on mentions, oh, sometimes a guy likes to be fingered in the arsehole. Look, YouTube, this is what the movie said, right? Don't take this down, that's what the movie said. And you get another scene where there's awkwardness, and this guy, there's also another scene where the guy's at his workplace. That was at the very start of the first episode. He tries to take his whiteboard and he couldn't take it, and there's also another scene of it's just awkwardness basically. And especially when this guy's going on dates that his daughter sets him up with. Yeah, I want to find that funny, but again, it doesn't work for me. It's such a shame because I had hopes for this type of comedy. I love comedies like this, but it just didn't feel right to me. Yeah, you see, it's that dull that I don't even remember some of the scenes in it. I've just seen the third episode. There's not really much else. I mean, there was a bit of parts in the show where I found a bit weird that kind of put me off the show a little bit. Is when, but this dude is with his friends, and he tells them about how his daughter's setting him up on Tinder dates, and the other dude sort of talk about his daughter I know she's only 16 in the show. I mean, she looks younger. I mean, then again, it's acting, so that kind of misleads you, to be honest. That's the whole point of it, you're not meant to make it obvious. And he's sort of talking about his daughter. Yeah, she's probably doing that. She's probably having all these type of audios and stuff. That is weird. Grown-ups men talking about 16-year-old like that. That's weird in that sort of scene, right? I know they probably I don't think it happens that much in real life, but it does happen. But this type of show talking about him like that, talking about his daughter, that would make any father rage, to be honest. I'm not surprised he walked out. And the motion that one guy was doing with the chair was kind of a bit odd, to say the least. You also have another scene where he sees where the guy sees his daughter in bed with a woman. I mean, I feel like the daughter's probably the smartest character in this show, which is crazy to actually think about. Usually usually the characters will be a bit different in terms of personality. They're all the same. I'm trying to figure out one scene now. It just came to me and now it's just gone. I thought about one scene which probably looked funny, but probably isn't. And also, what I don't like in this type of show, in shows like this, I never experienced it, is where excuse me, is where damn, don't what happened there? I just ate no longer, that's why. So it's when they have scenes of where they have music that's meant to portray a funny scene, something like that, and I don't like that. I've seen that in a lot of rom-coms where it, you know, you must know, if some of you viewers know what I'm talking about, you must know what I'm referring to. It usually happens in a lot of feminine type rom-coms where a scene is meant to be portrayed as funny and they have to put in some sort of backing track. I don't like those. It works with the odd scenes in some comedies. I don't like it. I just can't stand the track, you know, where they put in some music of like, oh, this, you know, is going to be funny to make you laugh type of thing. What's the point in that? If the scene ain't funny, not putting something like that in. And that's the scene I was thinking of. This scene was kind of a bit. I nearly laughed at this. I wanted to. Is where the guy that's in the guy that has a woman that wants to be in an open relationship, just search up swingers, and the guy's parents sort of goes, oh, we're going to a concert right now, dear, not right now, so, you know, be another time. But then the guy later finds out, and his wife later finds out that his parents are also going to the same swingers club as his wife brought him on. And this is the only scene where they actually show like a woman topless, and that's his mum. I mean, to be fair, like, I think the camera angle, I feel like they couldn't have positioned it any far, so you had no choice but to see that scene. And I'm looking at it going, yeah, that's, I mean, is there any more nudity in the show? I don't know. If they're showing that, they're going to show other things too. That nearly made me laugh. I'll give them that one. I kind of like that sort of scene where, you know, you're meant to be a bit humorous, meant to be a bit funny, but again, the characters have to continue with that. The characters have to actually make it seem like it's actually funny. His reaction was more like tame. At least be like, what? Or at least, I don't know. I don't know how in those houses they could have made that any less funny, I guess. I don't know. It's just because maybe the characters weren't correct for this type of movie. I have no idea. You have another scene of awkwardness when a guy like is on his den, he has sex with a woman, and he accidentally puts like moisturized cream for the legs instead of the lube. That's supposed to be funny, but again, the comedy wasn't exciting me enough. The best part, the things what I like in this comedy is when they have the title Alpha Males. It didn't say alpha males, it said machos, which means like man, basically. But it says machos alpha, right? And I like it how they put it into like the surroundings type of thing. So it's like an introduction, so like having the O. I like that. I kind of like that in this sort of show. I kind of respect that. It's kind of good editing right there to put that in. So that's good. You know, they should have more of that in shows. It's quite clever. I've seen it before. I kind of like it. How the design of it. So they should continue. I'm not every show should have that. So yeah, they should continue with that. To be honest, I think they do. Again, there's not really much else to tell. To be quite honest with you, that the dudes are pretty much boring. It's dull. I wouldn't say it's annoying. It's just dull. I mean, there's not really much else to tell. And don't get me wrong, this show, it makes me love Spanish women even more. Don't get me wrong, I just love when Spanish women start talking, because nearly every Spanish woman you would come across, they know what they want. They're fiery. They're independent. They're kind of the same level as black women. They know what they want, and they know how to get what they want. I just love it. It's just they're kind of ruthless, and they're strict, and they know what they're doing too. You got to admire that. Like, you know, in this type of show as well, they make her more like raunchy and stuff like this. That's what I love. Not a woman that's overly powered. Someone that's on like the middle level. I kind of like that. This, you know, like you can't go wrong with like a Spanish or black style type of woman. You know, like they're usually the best ones. And this show kind of gives a perfect example of that. Like, They're fiery, you know. That's probably why there's a lot of us dudes out there that love them. Like, they just know how to like make a guy feel loved and pleased, I guess. So yeah, but it's a shame because it's a good style. This is a good style. I say movie. This is a good style show. You know, it's a shame it didn't quite work out how I expected it to. So, rating. It's funny because I don't think it's average. I do think the characters is behaving like it needs a bit more. I'm kind of asking for more. I wouldn't say it's average. They're not acting at the best. I mean, it's just like they're just being normal. It's a comedy. Act a bit mental, but a funny kind of mental. So yeah, rating for this, but one or two good aspects of it, I guess. You know, when they say machos alpha and like the surroundings, I guess that's what I like. The design of that, the concept of it, the scenes that could have been funnier, which they should have made funny. I can see where they're going with that, and that would be the perfect type of scenes. But Apple would have made it slightly more funnier. So yeah, some of you might disagree. So you might give this higher. You might find it funny, but I don't. But I gave it a go. I don't think I'll watch any more episodes of this. This is just like a rough like type of like estimation what I think of it, I guess, my opinion. So yeah, and I don't really go back to stuff like this, especially ones, if it's like below a 7, I don't go back to it again. I just tend to just take them off. I just keep the ones I find decent or good into my list, and into my like list too, if they deserve a like, that is. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10. 3 is generous. I think it doesn't deserve a 1. It's not. I think it's one of those ones where it's not the best. It's below average, but again, everything else, the concept is good. I like it, but again, I'm kind of asking for a lot more. I don't care if it's the first 3 episodes. If it's the first episode, you should get going straight away. First episode of any comedy should be funny. Then it gives you a rough idea what it's like. The first episode, I made a rough judgment of it. I was like, at the start, it was good, right? At the start, I thought it was going to be funny, but again, misled me again, and I kind of knew it's going to be one of those comedies. So yeah, 3 out of 10 is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. Let's see you in my next video.